Welcome to Bad Storytellers, a podcast about a small group of writers in Titusville, Florida. I'm the host, Josh LaForge, and with me today is Liam Malone.
Get you, Gala.
Doug Banks.
What the hell was that?
I have no idea.
And Max Wessel.
I'm back, friends.
Okay.
He's not dead. I lied.
Yeah, Max was sick with the plague last week.
Yeah.
But so on this podcast, we typically discuss the media we consumed in the past week, and then we talk about our own submissions of written media and criticize each other. And at the end of this episode, and every episode, we roll the dice, we kiss, we roll the dice, and we find 3 genres of film, workshop a film, and then record the trailer for your listening pleasure.
I like the thing we do where we pass the dice from mouth to mouth without opening our mouth.
What's that called?
With the napkin?
That
You do
has
it with
a
the
name.
napkin?
That has a name?
Suck
Is it-
blow or something like that?
No.
I've seen people do it with playing cards in the movie Clueless.
Oh, well, then it's got to be true. If it was in Clueless.
Yeah, Clueless is a cultural
Shakespeare wrote
touchstone.
that shit.
He did. Shakespeare totally wrote that shit. And you know what? All Shakespeare would be better with Paul Rudd in it. I was going to say
What would be worse with Paul Rudd in it?
Caligula and
Schindler's
List.
Yeah, I think it's
I'll
pretty
say
universal.
The Avengers.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I
well
love
done,
it.
well done.
I love it. I love
Okay,
Ant-Man.
all right. So
It's like my new favorite.
we have 2 retractions. The clip of Arnold attacking the journalist wasn't on Dragnet. It was on a 70s TV show called The Streets of San Francisco.
Ah, okay, yes.
Also, I said expectation is the enemy of delight, and I didn't know who said it. It was, okay, I have no idea who this guy is.
It was David Duke.
No, sorry, I had no idea who this guy was, but his name is David Bedingfield. He is a singer, and I looked him up on Google, and he's not bad. On his website, there is a very racy music video where he's banging some chick in the water, and then the water like gets bloody and stuff.
Ew.
What?
Yeah, but it's actually pretty good. It's not bad.
You guys seen
Okay.
the video of Bjork attacking a journalist?
Yes.
That was good.
Get out of my face. Yeah. So it's been a week.
Yes.
It's been 2 for Max. Let's talk about what we did and read and saw. Liam.
The big thing I'm taking is I saw The Big Short. That movie was totally awesome.
Yeah.
Does anyone know what it is? Has
No.
anyone heard anything about it?
I've heard that title before, but I had no idea.
The guy who made Talladega Nights and Step Brothers decided he wanted to make a drama about the housing collapse of 2008.
Oh. Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
with Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling,
What a dream.
Christian Bale,
Mm-hmm.
and Steve Carell are in it.
Fucking Catalina wine mixer.
No, it is. It's shot
Sorry.
super dramatically. All the actors killing it. It's really informative and funny and entertaining at the same time. It's got a lot of good tension. It was a really, really, really good movie.
Cool. All right, I'm sold. They reminded me like about the same time that other movie about the Catholic priests came out. Spotlight. Yeah, I want to see that one too. They look. The trailers for them are very similar.
Yeah.
I can't imagine them being very similar movies.
No, but the way that
Yeah.
it's about like a hidden intrigue with a bunch of people
About a real event.
who,
Yeah.
who are
Yeah.
and a bunch of people who aren't directly involved, but like trying to figure out what's going
Investigating it.
Which
yeah.
one would be better for Paul Rudd to be in?
on. Ooh,
The Big Short.
Probably
Big
Big Short.
Short,
Yeah,
yeah.
from the sound of it.
I hear Mark Ruffalo is amazing in the Spotlight movie.
I do like Mark
And
Ruffalo.
Michael Keaton. Didn't Michael Keaton win an award?
I don't know.
I think he did.
Anything else?
I rewatched Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, and I forgot how much I enjoy it. And then I saw it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I really, really like this movie."
I really want to rewatch it again, just for that
good.
moment where he and Julia Roberts throw the wine glasses.
There's lots of good throwaway jokes. My favorite
Like
thing
throwing
is
away wine glasses?
my favorite thing about it is I was trying to find a spy movie that existed in that era that was better at being a spy movie than that movie that wasn't really a spy movie. And it just doesn't exist. It was the best spy movie made.
I'm
at
told
that time.
The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is really good. I haven't
It's
seen
supposed
it.
to be. My dad and my sister saw it. We have it on DVD sitting at my house. I haven't seen it yet. The only reason I
That's
want to
Guy
see
Ritchie,
it's
right?
Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, it's a Guy Ritchie movie,
Oh, really? Because the trailer made it seem like it was a little more
like a James Bond ripoff.
fantastical. Like it wasn't as set in reality as it wasn't as close to reality as other Guy Ritchie films.
I mean, I guess.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
I've only heard good things from people who
That's
saw
that's
it.
just the vibe I got from the trailer.
I haven't seen it. I would like to see it.
I like the show it's based on
Yeah.
kind of a lot.
Definitely.
I've never seen the show. What is it?
It's a weird mid-60s show
Mission
called
Impossible, Impossible style.
and it's called
yeah.
it's called The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and it's based around two characters, Napoleon Solo and Ilya Kuryakin. One of them is KGB, one of them is CIA, but they they team up together to beat up supervillains and like terrorist threats. of the
Napoleon
60s.
Solo. Is that what the
At the
drive-in song is named after?
Named after. And I have for about a decade, I was like, I need to start a post-rock band called Ilya Kuryakin.
What about you, Doug?
I saw 2 classic films that I'm a little embarrassed to say that I'd never seen before. First one was A League of Their Own.
Classic.
Yeah, it's a good film.
Fucking classic.
It's like, not only had I never seen it, but I knew the basic premise, but I knew pretty much nothing about it other than there's no crying in baseball.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what any of the characters were like.
The peeing scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. So,
Or the best swing dancers in any film.
Oh, God.
yeah, it's like in the middle of nowhere, like, Bush League baseball women's team, and they're just in a random diner, and just it's an amazing,
Like, fantastic swing dancers. Yeah.
It's almost like it was rehearsed. It was incredible.
That was a
And
documentary.
Madonna was swing dancing too, so it was kind of cool. But like, yeah, it was a great film. I mean, there's nothing I can say about that hasn't already been said, other than I wish I'd seen it sooner, and it was good. The other one was Time Bandits.
I have not seen Time Bandits.
Childhood without
Yeah.
Time Bandits.
How did you grow up to be the person you are without Time Bandits?
I had seen the opening 20 minutes of Time Bandits in high school, and I was like, this is weird, and I didn't get to finish it because like class was ending, and it was just like,
That's weird.
whatever.
Tideland.
But either way, I hadn't seen any of it, and I knew nothing about the plot other than it was, a bunch of little people going through time. And I finally sat down and watched it, and I was disappointed. It's like,
What?
Because of the reactions that you guys gave me. Oh my God, Time Bandits! A lifetime without Time Bandits. I'm like, oh shit, this sounds like a hidden gem of a movie. And I watch it, and I go, eh. And then like the beginning, I'm like, this is okay. And the middle,
So it wasn't when I was like, oh, you need to see Monster Squad.
no, that's different. Like Monster Squad, when I'd never seen Monster Squad and I watched that, I was like,
Wolfman's Got Knives.
oh man, I had no idea. This is like right up my alley, and it holds up. It's great. Time
But I mean,
Bandits.
still kind of for kids.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't sell itself as
I was
something
gonna say, what's your
Time
level
Bandits-
holds up?
Time Bandits does hold up in terms of like the visual effects and of the performances and all that stuff. The thing that disappointed me was the entire third act. It was like,
Oh, that it was super nihilistic?
I don't even know about I don't see how it's really nihilistic, but it was just like the first 2 acts. I'm like, okay, this is building to a point, and it's going there, and then they get into the terrible evil dungeon, and I'm like, okay, this is good. I'm liking where it's going, and then it was like someone was playing D&D, and the DM made an overpowered villain that you can't beat, and is like, well, we got to end the campaign somehow, so he blows up. And it's like there's no ending to it. Like, I feel like the movie had a great progression all the way through, and I was enjoying it as the longer it went on. But by the time it got to like specifically the second half of Act 3 during the big finale, it completely lost me.
I feel like that's another difference between me and you.
Yeah.
I would never think of a movie as Act 3 or what. I'm just enjoying the
I would
movie.
think about it in acts, but at the same time, we're like,
I
don't-
understand, but like,
rarely does
Yeah.
does a mediocre ending ruin a movie for me.
but the ending wasn't even mediocre. It made no sense, even for Terry Gilliam. Like, there's no point. It was just the entire movie had points. It had plot lines, and it had setups and payoffs, and the entire thing.
It had stances on
Complete
on the
structure.
eras of time it was going into,
and it had complete structure all the way through. It had a point. It had a goal. It was going to a goal. And then you get there, and then just it's like it's like they literally ran out of money and didn't know how to end it because things happened. Now, I did find out that in reality, they did have a different ending planned, and Sean Connery had to change his schedule of appearances in the film, so they had to rewrite it. And I feel like the movie suffered because of whatever the ultimate reasons were, whether it was budget or just Sean Connery or whatever. But they had to change the ending, and the ending that they ended up with, I'm confused and disappointed by it. But everything else I thought was great. So, take that as whatever it is. Also, I've been watching, I caught up with all of the current updates of X-Files. There's only 2 episodes of X-Files left.
Oh, nice.
And it's still pretty cool.
I
It's
had
like,
to stop halfway through the 4th one to get here.
Oh, it's on right now?
No, it's on Fox, the website.
he just like stopped.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
he
you paused it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's going to continue it.
What a martyr.
But no, it's good. If you've ever liked, I mean, the cool thing about it is they realize they only have 6 episodes, so not only are you getting like mythology story like all throughout,
it's moving.
and yes, it's moving, but it is like the entire series compressed into 6 episodes in terms of like how the tone jumps around. So like, oh, I always liked the lighter, funnier episodes. You definitely get that. I always like the darker mythology episodes. You definitely get that. Oh, I like Monster of the Week. They get it. It's like every little stereotype that X-Files has, you're getting, and it's the best it's ever been for me.
Awesome. What about you, Max?
I've been.
You had better fucking say a lot of shit.
He was sick for a lot of it.
It's 2 weeks.
I was
Hey,
extremely
when I'm
busy.
Mm-hmm.
sick, you know what I do? I watch movies.
He was also at a Ren Fair.
I was working. I'm working full time right now, and grading papers. Then I was
Reading any good papers?
No. I've been doing a lot of creative writing because I got bored with the lesson plans that they were providing for me. So I have been making the kids do time travel stories, and time travel is fun for them.
It's never fun for me.
That's more interesting to me than what they should be doing or would be doing. It doesn't really matter.
they're all going to wind up in prison anyway.
Yeah, no, it's weird because there's plans, but they don't really ever trickle down to the people who are supposed to implement them. Education is a weird thing, but I had a good time blacksmithing at the Renaissance Fair. I made some cool stuff,
Like that hatchet, for instance?
like this hatchet. In
Made a
front of me.
hatchet out of a hammer.
In fact, you need to take a picture of that and then we'll put it on the site.
I will.
You were watching X-Files as well.
Yes, I'm watching X-Files, and I'm really enjoying it. I love the Monsters of the Week. I'm enjoying how they're getting around cell phones, to where someone is always by themselves, puts their cell phone down, and walks away from it. That kind of thing. Or
Okay.
They don't do that nearly as often as you're insinuating.
there's only been 4 episodes. And then the monsters counteract cell phones and everything. But
Electricity and technology and stuff, yeah.
so there's been some cool guest appearances, a lot of throwbacks. I really like it. As far as
It's interesting that
Yeah.
they even have to address it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like
For things to be scary, being able to immediately call someone does
And
take a little bit of away of it.
but like okay,
Well, they are the people you call. They're the
yeah.
FBI.
if,
Yeah, that's
if
true.
I'm walking around and I get attacked by a werewolf, my phone's in my pocket. I'm not reaching. That's not even my first thought. You know,
no,
Like,
it's
not-
more like
I haven't seen
like-
the full disclosure.
I think
Yeah.
what you're saying is like when they address it, it's more of like they don't make a big deal of like I'm going to set up the scene, leave the phone somewhere, and now I'm away from my phone to fill up that
Yeah.
cliche. Rather than it's not that so much as they're using their phones constantly. How modern FBI people and you the viewer can see how having the phone solves the problem now that they didn't have in the 90s.
they totally like
Oh, okay.
in the 90s the killer would cut the phone line and then Scully would be fucked until Mulder ran
Right,
in.
right. But
Or
now
they had those big ass phones that didn't work out in the country.
now
But-
there's new problems.
And there was one episode where Mulder was trying to take a picture
Of the
something,
monster, yeah.
and he couldn't figure out how to use his phone. And the other guy's like, "No, you got to get in the settings." And he's like, "No, I what? How did you?"
He's like, it's my new phone.
yeah.
I don't know what to do with it. Or
He's
whatever.
got the
It's
camera
like-
backwards. He's just taking like selfies. He's like, "I think I'm getting it," and that kind of stuff. So that like it's totally a wink and a nod to every issue we brought up in when we
Watching
heard there's
the
going to be a new
show,
X-Files
yeah.
show.
Right, right.
Yeah.
They get it and they're like, "Yeah, here's this," just as a nod to what we listened to you or something like that. You know?
Yeah, in fact, in the first
Yeah.
episode, he pulls up like Mulder's meeting Scully in the middle of New York,
Yeah.
and he pulls up, gets out of the car, doesn't look back, the car drives away, and she goes, "Uber?" And he's like, she's like, "I thought you don't trust anybody." He goes, "Well, yeah, I hitchhiked."
Yeah.
And she like stares at him like, "Really?" He goes, "No, I'm kidding, it's Uber."
Yeah.
Like, just to show that his paranoia doesn't run so bad that he
Yeah.
can't even use an Uber. So I
But
don't know, it's funny.
As far as movies, I haven't really seen anything.
I think you have to trust somebody more to hitchhike. You have to trust
He's a
general people
complete
more to,
stranger, yeah.
to hitchhike than you do for using Uber.
What a great way to see the country that has been completely ruined for me in my mind that I would never do.
What, hitchhiking?
You
Yeah.
can still hitchhike.
Hitchhiking, well, that's illegal, but that's strange
Yeah.
because it's illegal to just like give somebody a ride.
Is it really
no.
illegal to hitchhike?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the state, but I think in almost all of them.
It's also
Wow.
illegal
I'll
to
look it up.
have
I'll look it
oral
up.
sex in Florida.
Well, yeah, sodomy's illegal in most states.
Yeah.
So it's
And
so,
sodomy is defined as any sexual act that does not directly result in a child.
Well, no, it's anyone that isn't penis and vagina. It's any form of
Yeah.
penetration that's not vaginal.
No, because even there was, I forget which state it was. Contraceptive was illegal for a long time because it was considered sodomy because it was a sexual interaction that did not result in procreation.
Interesting. I'll look up the official definition and I'll try to find that as well.
But hitchhiking, I think that's a great way to see, like, get play. I know people who do that. But for me, I'm just everyone's a murderer.
I knew a bunch of I
But
knew
is it just because of the movie The Hitcher? Like, I mean, is that the only reason?
No, like
It's
growing up, like I grew up in
was
the
there
80s,
ever a
90s.
documented case of a hitchhiker murdering
Oh
somebody?
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I think more of somebody murdering hitchhikers.
Yeah,
Right.
Like who would pick up a hitchhiker is someone who wants to murder someone.
But I think it is a little silly in that we think that it used to be something people did because it was relatively safe, but now it's like we all think it's murderers when reality is murder is way down. Like
No, definitely.
Also,
So,
with
yeah,
things
yeah.
like cell phones, you're more safe now
Yeah.
hitchhiking than ever.
But with my brain, I'm just like, I'm okay.
Well, so you got any funny stories from the
Ren Fair?
It was muddy as hell.
like in the old days.
Yes, very much like in the old days.
Did you poop in a hole?
No, there was porta potties, and they had
So you
hand-
pooped in a hole.
They had hand
Plastic
washing
holes.
stations. It was really nice, actually. But everyone got stuck in the mud, and that sucked. We had all of our night fighters had to fight in the mud.
See, when you say
what
Night
sucks.
Fighters, I think of Knight Rider.
I think of marauding
armor.
raiders. Our night fighters,
Like
the
a
guy
raid
that
party?
stand at the edge of town, dirty and tired, going, anybody? Is there somebody coming?
I mean, when you said night fighters, I literally thought you meant once the sun went down.
Oh, they would fight.
Like the reenactment. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there was that.
6:30, only 15 more minutes, and we get to go to.
Are there ever any legit tavern brawls?
No.
Are there any
Wait,
non-legit tavern brawls?
yeah, it's non-legit.
I mean, like real, not acted.
Right. I mean, are
we
there other
we could
acted
start a
ones?
couple next time.
A
lot of ours
It
are-
always happens in D&D. Somebody hits somebody with a mug.
Oh, we do that. All the weapons are put on the table. Everyone has to go back 10 feet. And then when go is called, you have to get to the table and get a weapon. And it's like 3 swords, spoons, and mugs. And there's like 6 guys. So,
So then,
yeah.
I would
then
like
you
to
got
be the
little Arya picks up the thing first and is like, "Is there any gold in the village?"
But there is...
Jacking people.
I would really like to be the first person to make it to the table and just pick 2 mugs.
Yes.
Just be like, fuck you guys.
One of our guys, Nubu, he uses a spoon because he won that fight. He got a spoon and won. So now he uses a sword and a spoon as a secondary weapon.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a pretty brave secondary weapon, the sword.
Yeah.
Why a spoon, cousin? Because it'll hurt while you twit.
Oh, Alan Rickman. So not too many funny stories. I've just been busy and
Crafting,
I want a
obviously.
day off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saturday I get to just not do anything. That's gonna be nice.
Well, as for me, I finished Naruto, the manga.
Naruto?
There are 700 issues.
Does that make you a Naruto now?
No, Naruto is a person. It's one. It's a single.
Yeah, but no, Naruto
That's
fans
how
are
he
called
trolls.
Naruto,
That's
right?
how he trolls the anime kids.
I don't think
He's
so.
asking
Are,
if
are they? I don't know. I'm not.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Okay.
Good callback.
I
Dad.
just
sorry.
I remember. That's all.
They're Narutoites.
I'm not. No disrespect to the anime fan community. I'm outside of it, so I don't know if they are called Narutos. I have heard the term Narutard.
Head, shoulders, Naruto's.
But the manga was really good. I'm glad I read it as a manga and didn't watch it as the anime because the last like 100 issues is one giant fight. And when you're reading it, it's like all these little clever vignettes and parts of the fight happening at once and how they intersect and interlocked. But if I was watching this, it would be nothing but battle fatigue the entire time.
Is it similar to Ninja Scroll?
In many ways, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in many ways. There's
like-
there's not nearly as much blood.
There's like ninjas, and all the ninjas have special powers.
Yeah, yeah.
Although no one has a snake up their cooch.
That's not true.
All right.
Oh, apparently not.
I've been corrected.
Orochimaru has snakes everywhere. And at
Does he
some
have
point-
a cooch?
Yes, actually.
What?
Is it a cloaca?
He keeps it in a bag. He pulls it out every once in a while.
Because if it's
No, he's still okay. So early in the manga, he attacks the. Okay, Jesus Christ, here I go.
No, I need to fucking hear this.
we need to know: is there a snake in the cooter?
How do you get his cooter and how do you get his snake in there?
All right, early in the manga, he attacks the village of the Leaf, Konoha.
Yeah.
He brings everybody and just does a full scale assault. His teacher, the third Hokage, for those of you listening who don't know shit about Naruto, a Hokage is the leader of the village. He's like a Dumbledore.
He's like
character.
the super king.
Yeah, well, he's like the senior
Yeah.
wizard. Like he's like the senior ninja who knows all the techniques. So this is the third one in a row. So he's there were 2 before him. He's the third, and there was one after him, but that guy died, so the third came back. So the third Hokage is fighting against Orochimaru, the snake dude, And he's like, how come you haven't aged? And he's like fighting him. And Orochimaru grabs his face and pulls his face off. And you realize he's a young girl. And he's like, I stole her body. Haha.
Oh.
I'm a woman now.
Hold his face.
Okay, then.
Oh, yeah, face off of his face.
Is that what I sound like when I talk about Harry Potter?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
No.
No, you're less apologetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the same way when we talk about Skyrim. So
Right,
it's like,
right.
you know, it's
True.
I'll tell
So-
Skyrim all day.
I don't even remember a word you said.
So I'm glad I got over the fact that, okay, so there was a big event in Naruto where a bunch of people died, and it was really exciting. And then at the end of it, they were all brought back to life. And it was very upsetting.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen in this one. In this next event, everything is permanent and it's good, and people die that you like, and it's good and emotional, and all the shit that people needed to work out gets thrown onto the table. Like it all gets up there, so it's pretty decent. But I'm glad I finished it because the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 video game was released last
saw
week
that.
on Steam, and it's released today as we're recording this on consoles, and it is fucking awesome. It is so good. And now I know who all the characters are. Yeah, but what's weird is that my favorite character so far in the game, I can't even remember her name. She's the God, here we go. She's the Two Tails Jinchuriki. She has a monster that has two tails inside of
lives in her.
yes, sealed inside of her body. And that monster is a giant cat. When you attack people with her, claws come out of her hands.
How many tails does Killer B have? His monster?
8.
8.
Yeah.
So Naruto's 9.
Yeah.
Killer B is 8.
Yeah.
Do they know who 7 is?
Yeah, well, I got all of them in the
Is
game.
that Gara?
No. He's the one
Is
tail.
Gara 6? Oh,
Why
he's the
do
one
the
tail.
Yeah, he's
monsters
one
have so
tail.
many tails?
The Japanese
'Cause-
folklore, the
yeah.
nine-tailed fox, nine-tailed demon fox is a recurring.
Yeah. And if you put them all together, you get the 10-tailed Doom thing.
Yeah, the 10-tailed Gedo statue becomes the. All
the
right,
thing.
listen.
Wait,
so
is he-
this lady.
I've also read that manga. I only remember half of it.
So if you guys have,
If you put them all together, you get 10 tails.
Mm-hmm.
But they got 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Yeah.
3, 2.
So
it's magic. I ain't got to explain shit.
so
Okay.
so the
Yeah, you don't get to say anything about there's tons of weird shit you're into.
no, we had like a 2-hour conversation about how you guys didn't get Harry Potter.
no, so I wanted to talk
I-
about this because
yeah.
I realized while reading it how much it is like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Because he's an orphan boy who goes to a school where they teach him magic, and there's a secret villain who.
You mean the hero's journey that is
Yeah.
every story?
And
No, this is way more like Harry Potter
Yeah.
than Black Swan is. Like,
or Star Wars.
or
And
Star
so-
Wars.
And then he finds out he's actually pretty good at the school, and then it turns out he needs 2 friends to hang out and do everything with.
Yeah.
One's a girl, one's a guy. There's sexual tension in the group, but who is it with?
Yeah, and also his
And there's
father was a
snakes in the
secret
cooters.
badass. His father was or his parents were badasses that died when he was born, and left him with a mark that gives him power. It's so much like Harry Potter, and where all the secret rules are present, and then a lot of times it's about what missions they go on and their teacher. But I was going to say my favorite character so far is this lady who's the Two Tails Jinchuriki, and the Two Tails monster is a cat. And this lady, she is not in the manga.
Yeah.
She is in like 4 panels, and she doesn't speak, and she just gets killed. That's it. But she shows up because a guy summoned her, and it's like, oh, here she comes, and Naruto's like, blam, and blows her up. So, but in the game, she's my favorite character. They just made up all of her moves for the game, and she like slashes you with her claws. She's super fast. She shoots blue fire out of her mouth, and when you get her below a certain health threshold, she turns into the giant two-tailed cat that fires laser beams out of its mouth of nuclear fire. And when you press a left or right on the D-pad, becomes a torpedo of doom that flies across the entire screen. It is the most epic, ridiculous shit I've ever played in my life.
It's like, ninjas are boring. How could we make ninjas cool?
But the only thing is, Naruto is.
We're just going to have a bunch of
Naruto is always-
ninjas. That sounds like shit.
But Naruto has always functioned like, what if ninjas were superheroes and wizards?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So it's great. I liked it. I also started a book called The Many-Colored Land by Julian May.
I've heard of that.
Julia? Hold on.
I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't know what it's about.
I feel like I've been recommended that book twice.
Yeah. Julian May. I don't know if that's a man or a woman. I don't know if that matters.
It doesn't matter. Is the book good? That's what matters.
So far, it's strange. It's about people. Okay, the scientist invents a gazebo.
He invents a pagoda.
So he invents this box that can send people back to the Pliocene era.
Okay.
That's all it can do.
All right.
So
That's really specific.
yeah. Well, it was accidental.
Yeah.
But so now people who don't feel like they belong in this new galactic society are just like, fuck it, I'll go. And they'll pay money to do it. So his wife, who survived him, now charges people to send them back permanently to the Pliocene area, into what they call exile, Pliocene exile. And people aren't very worried about it fucking up time because they know that in like 1,000 years, a pyroclasm is coming and it's going to wipe out any evidence that they were ever there anyway. But people would rather live in that kind of life. So criminals who are just unfit to live here but aren't like super dangerous go back there, and they won't let anybody who's super dangerous back. And so far, the entire book has just about the people who want to go there.
So Australia.
So it's been like a series of stories about these people and the situation that led them to want to go. The book has not yet gone to the Pliocene area to see how it's going.
That sounds cool.
There was a TV show.
Yeah.
Like that. What was it?
Yeah,
Had
that
like
was awful.
a couple episodes.
Supposedly the idea was the Earth was so polluted and it was going to end. They start sending people back,
Yeah.
whatever. But from what I understand, in reality, behind the scenes while they're making it, the network was like, "You got to put dinosaurs in this," and they're like, "The time that this takes place, there's not
Yeah.
supposed to be any dinosaurs." Like, no, put the dinosaurs in. And they're like, "Fuck, fine." They put dinosaurs in, and then the show tanked. So it's-
Yeah.
I'll look that up because
I think that was
recent, wasn't it?
I think
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
the whole thing.
real
I think
recent.
it was even like produced by Steven Spielberg.
originally, yeah.
And then during the filming of the pilot, he was like,
yeah.
"Nope."
Yeah, not what I signed
Yeah,
up for.
because I remember watching the pilot episode, and it's like a bunch of teenagers, and they're like, "Don't go out the walls," and the kids are like, "Fuck you, we're gonna go out the walls." Now there's fucking dinosaurs out there. Don't go out the walls.
Why would you go there if
Yeah.
there were dinosaurs?
Yeah. Well,
Well, because the Earth is ending. Where
Well,
we
the
are
whole thing
now,
is-
or in
Well,
the
yeah.
future.
Well, the whole thing is, I think it makes sense to viewers watching it who are like full of teenage rebellion, who never had to fear for their lives in any real meaningful way. They're like, of course you'd go and you'd break the rules,
Yeah.
when that isn't a real worry.
Right.
And they're like, of course they do that. And I'm like, no, but if you were
Yeah.
ever really scared of anything in your life, you wouldn't.
Yeah, all those people know there's dinosaurs. Like, it's not like the
Yeah.
teens are like, there's not really dinosaurs. They can see, like, they have dinosaurs working in the compound and shit. They can see carnivore dinosaurs, like, right outside, and they're like, yeah, we're going to go out and, like, touch their bells and stuff. It's like, no, you're not. You're not.
like
Yeah.
Steve Irwin or something.
Yeah.
You're gonna die. You're gonna
Yeah.
die real hard.
The book's getting interesting right now because they set up the rules for who can go back and who can't. And when women say they want to go back, the matron who's in charge of the place that has since entered it and decided to go back has said you must
No children?
Yeah, you must be sterile. Period. Like you
Yeah.
must be sterilized before you go back. And so the rate of people going back is 4 men to every 1 woman. So things I can only imagine.
So you
things-
already know things are gonna go badly.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's a doom. Anybody who goes back there is doomed anyway. You're not going to build like a civilization. You're only going to have like an ad hoc one that's happening at any given time. So I'm interested to see where it goes. But it's written in a style I like so far.
Cool.
It's a clever enough idea where even if it ends badly, you'd be like, well, you started with that idea, so where were we gonna
good.
go? Where were we gonna go?
Like
other
a
than
Chuck
bad?
like a Chuck Palahniuk book.
Yeah.
How are the dinosaurs in it? Are they cool?
They're great.
Yeah.
They're awesome so far because it's like I said, they haven't gone back to the past.
I
yet,
do
so
like that
the
idea of
dinosaurs
going
in
back
the
far
future.
enough in time to where you're not going to fuck anything up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, specifically
Yeah.
this specific location because it's
Yeah.
they're only going back to the exact location that they're currently in,
That's
which
like-
they know is going to.
The book, The Time Patrol, I've talked before about.
Yeah,
Their boot camp headquarters is far enough back in time to where they can do whatever the hell they want.
because the world is gonna be wiped 1,000
Yeah.
times.
A bicontinental drift.
Yeah. We need. I think we need to have a podcast field trip soon
To the past?
To
I was going to say,
Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah.
to a movie theater to see a movie together.
Which
Could we
which
record
movie?
live record in the movie theater and piss everyone else off?
Actually, if we rented out that space, we totally could do that.
Yeah, but we
We can't afford
it
to
would
rent
not-
out. What are you talking about?
I don't think that would fall under fair use.
No, I'm just
That's
saying.
true.
The movie we're
Dude,
trying to talk about.
there's a 20-seat movie theater at the local theater, and it's
Yeah.
like $20 per person, and it's 20 seat. It's not hard to
$20.
rent out. Yeah,
It's those leather
It-
seats that recline fully.
it was so worth it to see Star Wars. I don't
Yes.
even know how to like.
Wait, so wait.
Yeah.
You're saying to rent out the theater?
It's $400 about. Yeah. $400 or $500.
We don't got that kind of money.
No, we don't.
If we filled it up, it wouldn't be how hard though.
We could have
And it's
guests.
not hard to find 18 people to go find to
Well,
see a movie.
why wouldn't I just pay $5 on Sunday and go see it?
And then record afterwards.
Fine, you guys suck.
No, I don't suck.
Look,
I'm
if-
just poor.
If this podcast was making money, we'd be having a very different conversation. About
yeah, people
what
send
we
your
do.
money. Send it badstorytellers@gmail. Just send
Just send it to our email.
Open up an
Scan
email
it.
and just
Yeah.
dollars fly out.
Yeah.
Like if it was WoW, and you could just like, yeah, there you go, COD.
Where could we field trip to? I feel like if Ember was still a place, we could field trip there.
Oh yeah, totally. But it's
Yeah.
not. So we
No.
can't.
No, it's Fireland.
Graceland.
Doug, I believe our topic this week was yours.
Yeah, well, we were trying to think of a topic, and I realized that I often have a problem with distractions while writing.
Yeah, likewise.
Also, but sometimes distractions can be good.
Your distraction is like a baby.
Yes, it's like a baby because it is a baby and the entire internet.
But just the idea of that obviously most distractions are bad, but sometimes a distraction can be helpful to get your mind out of like a rut. So distractions, how to avoid them, how do you know when you need one, and what are the ones that you always go to, and what are the ones you always suffer from?
Well, I don't know, man. Did you guys do this thing where if you're about to write something, you're like, I want to see everything that's kind of like this?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
I do that. And you get to a certain point where you're like, this is definitely procrastination.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't like to do that because
No, well, the
then
whole
it
thing is,
filters too much.
I have a big specific story. I wanted to do a superhero story really badly, and I'd never seen Heroes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna see Heroes, and then I started watching, and I was like, okay, there are 3 ideas that I thought were pretty original that are totally already in this thing. All right,
They were original. And because you both thought of them independently.
yeah, but doesn't count.
Right.
And also, they didn't do it very well. Maybe very.
a lot of my
sad.
stuff it has to be written down at that very point, or it's gone forever.
See, do you guys write stuff? Do you guys have like a log, a commonplace book that you write extra ideas in?
I have.
Oh yeah,
like,
no, my garbage pile. Yeah.
Yeah, like 30 of them. Then I have to look through to find, and if I don't write it down right then it's just
Google Docs, man.
disappears.
Yeah, no,
Keep
it's
a
the
commonplace
easiest.
book
Yeah.
on Google Docs on your phone.
But he's saying if he doesn't write it down immediately,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, that happens to
Yeah.
me too. Yeah.
So like I don't like sit down to watch things. Be like, oh, this is like this. I'll watch this.
Oh no, I
Because
do.
if I don't
Sometimes
sit down
no,
and
I do.
write,
I
then
do.
it's
I do
just gone.
research, especially
Yeah.
for like tone and vernacular.
No.
I gotta. I have to do that.
Yeah, I do it as well. But definitely, I go too far on it every time. On every time, I'm just like, well, I just enjoy this, and I just start
You get
watching
in
it.
you get into the Star Trek K hole.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I've watched more Star Trek too. By the way, I didn't mention that.
We figured.
Well, I guess my problem is that I'll avoid distraction like video games or TV, and it'll pile up, and then I have to binge it like secret like what are the secret eaters, you know? Like in the middle of the night,
yeah.
it'll be like, all right,
Like, oh yeah,
it's 9:30.
You come into bed?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was. What time is it? It's what? It's midnight now, right? It's 5.
It's like it'll be like 9:30 on a weeknight where I have to go to work the next day, and I'll just finish working on an outline or whatever, and be like, oh man, I'm tired. All right, well, you know what? I'm gonna play a video game for like maybe just a few minutes, and I'll open up like Old Republic or Skyrim and just play, and then maybe I'll play for half an hour, maybe I'll even go for an hour, and if I'm like, you know what, I have nothing big at work tomorrow, I'll go for like 2 hours. Then I'll be done. I'll be like, all right, great. Then the next day, all I'm thinking about is playing that goddamn game again. And I just feel like, man, when I get back, I want to finish that quest I'm on, or I want to do this or whatever. And like, it's a slippery slope where I'll spend an entire afternoon or evening playing a game, and then I got to dig myself out of it and then get back to work. But they'll go through dry spells of no TV, no movies, no video games, but then I'll binge on one particular thing, usually one particular game or one particular TV show.
I understand the sentiment. When I used to work retail at Publix and playing Skyrim, to where you're like the Dragon Master, and then you have to go into work and be you. Mm-hmm. It can be upsetting. Mm-hmm. Also, like when I saw,
I used to work at GameStop.
Yeah.
And that's also retail, but the difference is you get to GameStop and you go to your employees and you just start talking about that all
yeah.
day.
oh yeah, like when I saw Mad Max Fury Road.
Which was named after you.
Yeah, and then I had to drive home.
Angry Max.
Drive home going the speed limit. It was very upsetting to me.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
I can't drive my car and listen to Eurobeat because I just think of Initial D.
Yes.
I can't listen to the Mad Max soundtrack, Fury Road soundtrack while I drive either.
Yeah. Anything with a doof warrior where you hear in the background, the dun dun dun. You
You
wanna
just start
kinda
hitting the
slam.
gas, you're like getting people out of your way. Yeah. But yeah, distractions. Music is okay. TV gets me.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm trying to write and TV is on, it
I have to turn it off. I have to. I can't be around it. I can't look at it. Like it can't be in my peripheral vision because I'll just keep looking at it. Like I can't carry on a conversation with somebody if the TV is on in the background and neither of us are looking at it. If I know it's on, I can't talk to them. I have to. I have to ask them to turn it off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a really hard time with it.
Problem. My computer is in the living room with the TV. Headphones on, different world.
Yeah, headphones. It's different.
Well, sometimes what I'll do is I'll take mini breaks. Because like if internet is a big distraction, right?
Sure.
So like what I'll do is I'll like finish a page or whatever and be like, okay, I take a mental breather. I'll be like, you know what? Now I'll go check my email. Now I'll go do this, and I'll spend maybe 10 minutes doing that, and then get back into it. And that kind of helps me. It doesn't break my concentration. Whereas if I'm in the middle of writing and then my wife comes in and she's like, oh hey, I got a quick question. That will shatter.
Oh, yeah,
like
dude,
whatever.
It's the worst.
It's like. It just rips you out of it like so much. I'm like, oh fuck. Okay, yeah, let me deal with that.
What do you do to get back into it?
Yeah.
Actually, I want to talk about that actually happening. I love doing it. I love that situation when you're doing it, which especially when I was doing term papers for college. I had a girlfriend, and she would do that for me. And then I would answer her question shitty. Yeah. Because I'm also not involved in what she's... Because I'm in such a different world. She's like, so are we going to go and have dinner with my parents tomorrow? And you're like, what? What time? And you have to,
right? Yeah,
because you're not in the real world in that moment.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Why do I even bother talking to you?" And like, I don't know. You just ruined my rhythm, so I don't know. I'm like, I'm angry at you.
The same thing happened to me the other night. I didn't have headphones on. I was in my office with the door shut, lights off, had music on.
In the mood, like,
and I'm like typing, and I'm trying to figure out the next thing. And my significant other opens the door, and she's like, "Hey, did you see that thing? That was the thing." In my head, like what happened? My fingers stopped typing, but my head was still planning.
Yeah.
And all I did was turn and look at her, but I was not. I was still in it.
You're not there. Yeah,
I was still in it, and I'm looking at her. And she's like asking me this long question, and I'm like, okay, and then he does this, and how would I do that? And there's this and that, and I'm like, oh, what?
yeah.
I'm like Eddie Izzard's impersonation of a British film.
Yeah. Oh well, because it's like hitting the brakes on something, but you're still like your trajectory is like
your
still
brain
going.
is still going 100 miles an hour.
No, it's not like you're hitting you didn't hit the brakes. What happened is somebody just moved you to the passenger seat.
But you're still like,
the car.
That's a better way to say. Yeah.
The car is still just going.
Car's still moving.
I get like the mini rage. I'm like,
no, I do. It's like
let me finish. I will be with you in a second.
When you have a baby, if you have a baby, you don't have that option anymore. Baby opens the door and it's like, and you're like, okay, what is that? What is that, a book? Okay, we'll read a book now. That's fine. And he's like, and you're like, where is the other parent? Okay, hold on. Okay, let's sit on the floor. Here we go. Okay, you know what? Let's go and let's fuck it. We're done. We're done writing. Like,
that's the problem is when I'll answer a question because I'll try to be nice.
Yeah,
be like, I'll answer a question.
I try to be nice, and I never am.
And then I'm like, okay, I'll because I have my headphones on. I'll be facing the computer, and I got music, and I'm clearly working because I got like Google Docs open and like all this text, and there's nothing else open. It's just this. And she'll be like, oh, question about this, and I'll be like, all right, think for a second, answer. Okay, here's the answer. But just so you know, I'm listening to music because I am listening to music. Yeah. I'm listening to music. Sometimes I won't hear you, and sometimes I just want to stay focused on this. And be like, oh, okay, fine. 4 minutes later,
I feel like it's passive aggressive, but this is like I do this sometimes. I don't know a better way, because if I say anything, if I'm like, hey, listen, I really want to focus on this, it will always be interpreted as me being rude.
Yes,
because just like I can't even come in here and ask you a question. Like it'll happen every time.
You're like, yeah, and you're like, I'm gonna get into a rhythm, and then
so I feel like I have to be passive aggressive so that I don't get caught actually saying anything. Like, so they come in and they'll talk. I'll stop and like take a long time to pretend that I'm reorganizing my thoughts, and then take off my headphones really slowly, and then breathe in and out, and then go, I'm sorry, what? And then that's how I'm like, you try to communicate that you were real busy, but I don't think there's another way to. I don't know. I just don't feel like there's a polite way to deal with that.
There's not, because it always comes off like you're being a dick.
Yeah, the only way is you pretend to be perfectly oblivious. I think that's the only way. That you're very graciously stopping, and you're being super. No, I want to help. Hold on. Let me undo all all of the stuff that I was working on. Let me put all of this back.
No, here,
Let me put,
excuse
no.
me.
How can I help you?
Here,
I think that's the best way to do it.
Let me shut down my computer without saving. Oh my god.
Well, you asked like how to get back into it after that.
Yeah, how do you do that?
The only answer for me is the hard way.
Yeah.
Which is just starting over from scratch. Like I can't think of any shortcut to getting back into the groove after you've been pulled out.
I don't answer until I'm done writing.
I actually have a little bit of a shortcut, but it
Is
might
it drugs?
No.
I was hoping you could recommend something.
Although Adderall has made me do amazing things in times that it shouldn't have existed.
Like splits?
Yeah, actually.
Mental splits.
But the way I do it is I usually the music I like to write to. Sometimes I do it through mood, but a lot of times I do it just for rhythm, just for like typing rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And I find if I go back to the chorus of that song that I've been listening to and repeat, I can slip back in if I do it fast enough.
That's lucky. Yeah, I've tried that. That's one of the main reasons I listen to music is like I'm trying to prep myself for the mood of something.
I don't have any of that. I don't listen.
Well,
to
your writing conditions doesn't allow for music or for any.
Well, I don't listen for mood. I don't. It's not like I'm doing
for me. It's not
anything
even for me. It's not. It's not. It sometimes it's mood, but a lot of times it's just white noise. So I have something that carries me through.
I don't.
Right.
Yeah, I just sit down when I have the idea. I just sit down and write it. If I'm writing the full story, but it's really like TV that will get me. Music is fine. TV and movies that'll pull me out because I want to see what's going on.
I feel like sometimes when I get pulled out and I'm like I lost it, like I was in it and I was making a big decision, about something, and then I get interrupted making that decision. Now I don't even remember why I was going to make the choices I was going to make. I just sometimes just go for a walk,
Take a reboot.
and just try to think about the thing as a whole, and then come back to it.
I may have to just do that because I have to like literally etch a sketch clear my head because I've tried to dive back into it because I don't have a lot of time. It'll be like, all right, I only have 2 hours of free time to write, so I've got to do this, and I'm like,
And it's weird because you always think of like when you hear about people beginning writing, it's always writer's block that people worry about. I don't really have writer's block because I just power through it.
Yeah.
Just screw it. Like just move, just keep going.
Even if it's 10 pages of shit, you'll write that 10 page of shit, and then you'll get through the other side, and you're like, it's over now.
Once you're
I can delete the rest of this shit.
Once you're okay with it being terrible, you don't really have writer's block anymore. You have confidence that you can fix it later.
But I actually, one of my favorite things is it was in a bunch of like how to draw books as a child, and I forget who even the author was, but one of the things he wrote is like, you will draw 1,000 terrible bears before you draw Yogi Bear.
Yeah,
That's what you have to do. You have to draw 1,000 terrible bears.
It's very similar to that quote we had last week from Ira Glass.
Yeah.
How about our work this week?
how
All right.
about it?
So, Liam, what'd you bring in?
I brought in the outline for the first 2 chapters of the Goblin story that I'm just going to work on plot and figuring out all that before I start filling everything in.
So, real quick though, I read it. Do you want to put more work into that or into your?
Hatter, I got to shelf for a little bit
Okay.
because I made a really big decision, and now I'm doing a bunch of weird stuff with it. But yeah, I made a giant decision that completely changes where I was going with it.
Interesting. Are we ever going to see an outline?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
that started.
Oh,
because
good.
I made the decision halfway. I made the outline, and halfway through I was like, oh, I need to change this thing all the way back there to make this work, don't I? Yeah, I do. And just
So to distract yourself, you did this.
no, but it wasn't even a distraction. It was like I needed to get away for 5 minutes.
Right.
So, what's this one about?
To figure out. Goblin is just solved the biggest case of his life. And because he solved the biggest case of his life, he's worried that there's going to be a lot of like rich customers all of a sudden.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, no, but and notoriety and journalists, and the whole thing is like that's really
Because
bad.
he's undercover. So
That's
he doesn't-
bad for a private eye. Notoriety and fame is super bad for his profession in the long run, and he doesn't want to deal with any of it. So this girl tracks him down, and she follows him back to this bar, and she's like, my master is missing. And he's like, that's really cool, and I'm glad you followed my partner to my apartment and wasn't discovered. That's really cute. But did you notice that you were followed? And then they have to backtrack through, and then they go to this guy's house who's missing, and he figures out something terrible about him, and you're about to find out why Trowell took the case.
So, what don't you like about this so far?
Right now, I want more Bowman, because Bowman's fun.
Bowman is the orc.
Bowman is the orc, and Bowman gets to say all the really straightforward, funny lines.
Okay.
And I want more him.
I got to tell you,
Why not just make
That guy?
Bowman the story?
No, because he can't be the one who's pushing the story forward. His personality wouldn't allow for it. His sense
He's
of
kind
humor
of,
doesn't
I guess,
allow for it.
he's just probably kind of just locked in as that character.
He's
not really.
Bowman is Matlock, and Bowman is Watson.
I was gonna say if Bowman's Matlock, there was like a long-running show called
Yeah.
Matlock.
But the whole thing is Matlock doesn't do any of the actual investigation or legwork. He has a private eye that he gets to do everything for him.
I'm sure he's got a name, right?
I have no idea what his name is.
Retraction.
so I got to tell you, present tense is not working for me. in
Yeah,
this one.
it's got to be past.
Yeah. It was specifically with how you're writing it.
Well,
this is the
the whole thing is
outline.
the outline is I'm doing it in present tense just to know.
Right. Okay. Because this doesn't feel like an outline as much. I mean, there's an outline at the end, but it feels like you set up a scene and are writing it in present tense.
No, this is a summary outline, which is
Okay.
just the best way to do it. It's not like that's the story. No, that's if I wrote a 1-page summary of a chapter of a book that I read.
Okay. I misunderstood.
Yeah, no, because there's 22 ways to do outlines, and that's just the one that has always worked best for
That's
me.
an odd. 22.
Is
Is that based on a book or something?
No, I took a class in how to do outlines for articles. Like
Interesting.
We should
it was
invent 23.
it was a technical writing class, and they were like, here's a bunch of ways to do outlines, and this one is just throw up an idea.
Sounds like you got your
get a
money's
fine
worth.
point.
Using what you learned in college.
Yeah,
win.
no,
Yeah.
it's great.
Well, I mean, I liked it. My only concern is I don't know where the story's going, so I can't comment on that at all. It's just I like how it starts.
Yeah, I
and
guess-
I'm
I guess-
interested in the mystery.
The reason
Yeah.
I didn't really
It-
peg it as an outline is I feel like for me, when I make an outline, it's zoomed all the way out first. Like this is how it begins. This is the goal at the end. This is what I want to happen, and then I just start peppering it in between.
It
But-
truly was a summary of the first 2 chapters.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's just I can't.
We're doing our
other than-
best, Josh. We're trying to make outlines for you.
I'm not trying.
No, the whole thing is I'll probably have the next 2 or 3 chapters done next week, and then the ending done, because the end of the second act is going to be the part that it's not that it doesn't matter. It's getting there is going to be connecting the 2 points or the 2 ideas,
Okay,
because I already know how the ending ends. There's an atom bomb.
like magical.
Yeah,
Sweet. Have you set up rules for magic in your universe, or are you gonna worry?
that
you're gonna worry about it?
That's going to be secondary stuff, and actually that's what the next chapter is about. Is he goes to a dude who knows about magic, and he's like, what do you know about this shit? And the guy's going to explain magic better. And also there's a lot of asides where Trowell knows how magic works, kind of.
Yeah.
He has some experience with it. He's like, this is stupid prestidigitation shit. This doesn't matter. This isn't important.
How do you
And then he's
deal-
like, oh, that's real magic over there. What the fuck is that?
How do you deal with characters explaining things without just being a word
One,
dump?
it
An
is
info dump?
it is
Yeah.
going to be in past tense, and it is going to be Trowell explaining this case to someone,
Okay.
presumably
Yeah.
the audience.
Now I read a book. I don't remember the name of it. I think it might be like The Night Angel or something like that. But it's by Brent Weeks. I didn't think he was that great of a writer, but the story was good, and he had rules for magic that were amazing. I mean, just really original and just really well put together. I think I still have it at my house. I'll lend it to you if you want to read it.
I mean, I have some vague ideas about how magic works, but
Well,
for
I mean in the way it's explained.
yeah, but for me, it's that would be useful. For me, it's how it works is not that important because it's just going to be a stand-in for technology. Mm-hmm. I mean,
Like the dinosaurs in the Simpsons in the Flintstones.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be mostly a stand-in for technology or a different way of doing things. The questions that I need to answer for myself is how common is it? And even the people who commonly use magic, they're like, oh, our neighborhood has a wizard. Not all of them are
Like a handyman.
not all of them are at the same level though. There's a handyman and then there are engineers.
That's one of my favorite concepts in stories is like the hedge wizard.
Yeah,
Right.
There's just some dude out there who can do magic.
Who
He's
knows
not-
5 things?
Yeah, he's not Gandalf, but he can do a little bit of magic and he just hangs out.
That's the thing that's really common in Naruto. Is a ninja who only knows a couple things, but if he's really smart, he makes those things work for him really well. It's one of the best characters in the series is a guy named Shikamaru.
Love Shikamaru.
Yeah, he just knows how to keep you in place with his shadow, but he's so smart that he gets everybody to fall for that shit. And it's a great plot device. I wish he was the main character.
And he's so dry and sarcastic too, and it
Yeah.
works really well. And then you realize that all of my favorite anime characters are really sarcastic.
Well, I don't know. I think a better main character for Naruto would either be Shikamaru or Rock Lee. The only
God, I
ninja,
love Rock Lee.
The only ninja who can't do any ninja magic.
So he's just the strongest, fastest.
He just punches
most
rocks
badass.
all day. He wears weighted clothing. When he takes it off, he disappears. He's so fast.
Naruto's fucking badass.
Yeah, it gets pretty good. It's for kids. Don't worry about it. Watch the best fights. That's
What?
pretty cool.
What if we had a sleepover?
Not even if there's a fire.
What if
How, even if there's a fire, I wouldn't watch this. It's like, what scenario?
What wouldn't you? What
Wait,
would
wait.
you not
So-
stop watching
so-
if there was a fire?
It's the Step Brothers. I won't call him Dad. Not even if there's a fire.
All right. So, Bowman,
Yes,
is there some kind of murder mystery that he's going to solve in this story?
it's a disappearance.
Okay, so somebody's vanished,
Yes.
and he's got to solve it, and there's intrigue and
And you're going to find out a
Corruption.
lot about the White Church murders, which are an analog for the White Chapel murders of Jack
Right.
the Ripper.
what's the Shredder? What's his name? Shredder.
I might not keep that, but I just didn't. I didn't want to make it Jack the Ripper, and that was the best I could
It was
come
like
up with.
Johnny
in
the
short-
Shredder, was
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
I'm actually thinking I might call him Happy Jack,
Saucy Jack.
and because he cuts smiles into people.
That's creepy.
Yeah,
What if it's
but also there needs to be a lot of it is also going to be about war trauma and what the war did to culture.
okay, and that's what Trowell he had a hard time.
Yeah, he had a really hard time, and it's also gonna. Part of it is that he gets involved in. It starts out as a disappearance and then gets to be more of a political intrigue thing that ends in murder, and then you find out that Trowell wasn't just a private detective. That in the war he was super important, and then the war's over, and he was like, "Oh, you have green skin. Now the war's over. Go back to Greentown."
Oh, jeez.
So he's
So
super.
it's like Glory.
So
Yeah.
he's super bitter about everything, and he ran the CIA during the war. He was the spy master of England, and then when the war,
Nick Fury almost.
yeah, and then the war's over, and they were like, "Well, now for political reasons, you can't be in charge of this." And so he's like, "Well, fine, fuck you." And then this is him kind of almost returning to that role where he stumbled upon something huge, and he's gonna go to them. And they're gonna be like, "Well, you don't really matter anymore." And he's like, "I'm the fucking best."
Cool. What can you bring us next week? Can we get more?
Yeah, I'm hoping to have 10 chapters done by then.
Okay. Cool. What about you, Doug?
I brought the first completed outline for The Planet Without Christmas. And it's got a beginning, middle, and end.
Hooray!
It's like- yeah, there's the thing that I'm going to have to flesh out more details on are like the character relationships. Like right now it's just plot. Like it has dips in a little bit about the characters, like how they change, but it's mostly just plot. He gets to point A, to point B, to point C, and then the end. I'm gonna dive into more details on the side characters like Joe and Lucy. Like
I'd like to see more color.
yeah,
with those, yeah.
exactly. Like it just what is their relationship like when Nick shows up, and what's it like at the end of the film? How does it change over the course of the film? Also, how does Nick change himself? What is the temperature, like emotion wise, of the town? I added a part in there about like how the town isn't going to be full of like Grinches or anything like that, but it's definitely going to be people on hard times. So when he shows up and he starts talking about Christmas, at first they're like, "The fuck are you talking about?" Like we know what Christmas is, but who's got time? Like ain't nobody got time for that. You know, like this.
We don't have money. Like,
Exactly.
There's no factories that can make toys.
Yeah, and it's like we have no reason to be happy. You know, it's really like that is the point.
We got work to do. You show up in the morning.
Exactly. And I even added a note. There was a note that I had. This kind of ties back briefly into the trying to hop back into something after a distraction, which is I had finished for the night and I was distracted several times, so I didn't get like everything I had in my brain down on the page. So I'm literally like my computer's off. I got the fan on, and I'm in my PJs, and I'm getting ready to just literally I got like one leg in the bed, and I'm like, fuck, like, I
got
had an
an
idea. Yeah. So I climb back out of bed, go over to my phone because I'm not going to turn my computer back on, and I'm typing out this long note on my phone. But I included that note in here, which is how the town is on hard times specifically because it's winter and because it's like Christmassy. Like it's basically the perfect Christmas season, but everyone's like, fuck this time of year. Like they're against the season.
I'm cold. I'm wet.
Yeah, and it's and like they have their drones that go out to survey for the unobtainium surrogate.
And you said that the days are 10 days.
Well, the years are
10 years
yeah,
worth.
Yeah, so it's like one orbit around this planet is 10 years back on Earth. So, I mean, time will pass relatively the same from their perspective, but it's just like the season will last like 4 years, you know? Like
You do know the rotation of the sun does not affect seasons.
I know. No, I know it's the tilt. I know, but I'm just. I'm talking about time distance.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like literally the season just because it's. Oh, I want Christmas to last 4 years. Well, let's multiply it. It's not that. It's it's just that when you are at such a time difference, like orbiting a planet, and there are no seasons like that, you mentally can't measure time. And I've heard in reality, like people, I don't know if this is true, but it was like a study that people who live in southern states where there isn't much of a season change tend to be a little bit more laid back, which attributes to like the southern hospitality of just like, oh, it's all good, we'll get to it eventually.
Well, I mean, you think about they have reason to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like more than just like an endorphin thing.
Oh, it's not about endorphin or like sunlight hitting you, but more of just like, and if you go up to somewhere like New York, people tend to be a little bit more driven, not because you're in a big city, but even if you're outside the big city, because the subconscious thing of like you're noticing the
winter is coming.
Well, you're noticing seasons change, and your brain is going, dude, time is passing. Get the fuck on it.
The northern industry came because they had 3 months to plant. In the south, you had as much time as you wanted, right?
Right. So it's
but
like
in the north, you had to get it done.
It's a cultural difference.
Well, if you think these people have only been on this planet for a few years, and now they've only been through one winter, and now this is their second winter on this planet, and they have no winter culture.
Yeah,
that was my idea for them too.
Yeah.
Was they would come from planets where Christmas has been so industrialized, to where it's this overarching mass thing. They're like, we can't have that.
The idea of having a homebrew Christmas doesn't.
We don't have
sense.
Christmas producing mass cities. Like we don't have.
You've literally lost what the original Christmas is about.
And like less about. I mean, obviously this movie's about Christmas, but I mean, like they don't even have the culture of where like you. Like, oh, it's Tuesday. Let's go over to June and Sandy's, and we're going to do potluck, and I'm going to bring over my dish.
It's the small. Like they are aware of the big stuff, but they have lost sight of the small stuff. And when this guy is talking about Christmas, he's like, oh, well, we can make like Nick's there, and he's just like, oh, well, we can make Christmas happen here just because fuck it, because to him, Christmas is just decorations and songs, and he's gonna bring that to them.
Yeah.
But then he realizes, oh fuck, like like it's the double whammy. It's like it's not just that. He has to, in giving it to these people and seeing that they take these Christmas decorations instead of being like, all right, let's light it up and let's sing songs. Instead, he sees community come together and be like, hey, let's have a big celebration where everybody makes some food and everyone's giving to each other and everyone's happy for the first time in fucking forever. And that's why he's like, oh shit,
this is what Christmas really means.
It turns out the name of that planet was Earth.
But
it was Earth all along.
No, you sons of bitches, you blew it up.
But
by the way, the fact that we haven't had a trailer end that way yet,
even in this
slow, even in this, I'm just saying, even in this amount of time. Super surprises me.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty more. We have plenty more opportunities.
You spoil the ending in the trailer.
Yeah. Well, anyone listening to our ideas.
I've seen those trailers.
It's true.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't really have many problems other than I'm just going to have to dig in on how each of the characters evolves now that the plot is laid out pretty solidly. Figure out if there's how many side characters do I really have to focus on. I know I got 3 basically. 1 main character, 2 supporting characters that play a huge role, and if there's any other little stuff to throw out. I had like random names. I had a surrogate because they're Peter.
I need jokes.
Well, there's. You want a joke? You know about Black Peter, right?
Yeah.
In Christmas time, his artificial intelligence system is called Peter. And what does it stand for? I have it written down. Peter on his ship, he'd be like, all right, Pete, we're going down. Like to make a landing. Peter stands for Positronic Extraplanetary Transportation Equipment Resource.
It works.
Yeah, and
it's a functional acronym.
Yeah. Well, that was. I spent too much time on that trying to get that thing out.
No, you didn't.
Because it works.
Just the round amount of time.
Yeah, that was a great.
As long as the result works. So trying to figure out like how is this AI gonna? I mean, it's not true artificial intelligence. It's more of like on in Moon, Kevin Spacey or whatever.
Gertie.
Gertie. Yeah. So yeah, plot's done. Figuring out the characters. I'm hoping to either have a
I need
more
to see
completed
that. I
outline.
haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, man.
Moon?
Sam Rockwell.
Oh yeah, Moon's great.
I was
man.
about to say Sam Rockwell and Kevin Spacey, but not really. It's just Sam Rockwell. Kevin Spacey
And David
is
Bowie's
involved.
son.
Yeah, directed it.
Directed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my goal for next week is to have a more completed outline, basically the final outline before I leap into the script,
Cool.
or have that and maybe the first couple pages. So it depends on how fast these character pieces come to me. So.
Awesome. What about you, Max?
I don't have anything written down, but I've been thinking a lot about the ending of Rate Your Operator.
Okay. What we
Which, by the way,
affectionately called Uber Shooter.
Yeah. No. Which, by the way, Rate Your Operator is also
It's a good title.
name.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
It's a good
Good.
title, yeah.
like
But
that.
Uber Shooter is more fun to say.
Well, the whole thing is, but that seems like you could have written that in 1976, and this would have been mind blowing. And there's like, they'll never do any of this, and then Uber would come out, and then someone would be like,
Oh my
fucking
gosh.
told you,
this
motherfucker.
seems
Wessel wrote about it in this book. It's all coming true.
just gotta get that time travel going.
It's like how
We're
everyone's
really,
saying, like,
really entering a Wesselian future.
no, that's the thing. You hear politicians saying that shit. It's like, no, we gotta fix these gun laws, or we're gonna have a Wesselian future dystopia.
Please,
Yes.
A Wesselian dystopia.
use that joke. That's too good of a joke to leave behind.
Wesselian. Oh, I have to write that one down.
That's in the afterward.
Yeah. Post-Wesselian period. So the ending I have planned is he is going to have a moment where he figures everything out. Everything is revealed to them. He gets to a grouping. He gets a group of other operators together, a big grouping, and he has a big moment of Soylent Green and his people. This shit is fucked up. It's wrong. Everything should be going. He gives this big speech, and then everyone's phone in the audience, nothing changes. Everyone's phone in the audience clicks up, Madman, and they all just shoot him. Nothing changes.
It's dark.
Yeah, it's super dark. It works,
Yeah.
but
But the phones just start chirping. Like he sees phones like click, 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 click. Everyone's just looking at their phones. He had his big moment and nothing changed.
I think it would almost be better if it ends with them seeing that he's the mad guy without shooting him, because like if you leave that ambiguous, you know,
that's better.
because like
But then how to put
if
the
you've
violence in?
established that these are all reasonable people, but they're all involved in a kind of unreasonable enterprise,
Yeah.
and then he's like, look. Like they know he's a reasonable person. It's like, look,
Yeah.
I've done that. I've found it out. It's this and this. They're like, holy shit, that's so crazy. And then like all their phones go off and they all look up, and it's like,
no. The best part
Oh,
is
I do like that,
No,
yeah.
the better ending is his phone is still on the line, so his
He
goes
reads
too,
his own,
and he
yeah,
flips
thing.
it up, and that's the last line. Is like, yeah, that
or,
would work.
or like he
looks
looks
down.
and then he looks up at them and they're all looking at their phones.
yeah.
One of them is gonna shoot me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't even need to be all
Yeah.
of them. It just could be one guy, and that guy's like,
That's the thing.
"What the fuck, John?"
You know, that's the other thing too, is that if he well, it's like, and that's the thing.
Damn it.
If he flips his phone up, and it's his picture, and it says, you know, Madman, he's currently carrying a gun. Reward is an obscene amount of money. So even when he looks out at that crowd of people, and even if there are some friends out there who know that he's okay, someone out there's gonna say, "Fuck it, I want that money," and that's you know,
and
just,
we know this is legal.
and you know
Yeah.
it's legal. Yeah.
that could work.
Cool.
So you think
All
it's
right,
more of like,
but I want you to do one thing for me. I also want you to write a positive ending. I want you to come up with and think of a positive ending, and also write that, and then we can have a decision. Because it seems, oh no, to me it seems really easy to be like, and I know it doesn't work out and nothing's good. We're like, you could come up with something clever and interesting. You could come in with an answer for your own question.
Where they all have an orgy.
Wait, the orgy app is buzzing. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's here now. Let's go.
Oh, it's that guy. He wants his face fucked.
That's another thing. They just put it on like the weird future Tinder. A bunch of bears come in.
Swipe right to kill.
That might be another good one. Another good title.
Swipe right to kill is such a good title.
We need that for a trailer though.
Do you
Save
think?
that.
Do you think the Please Rate Your Operator, is this gonna be like short story, novella, or what do you think?
The length of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Because that's really short.
Yeah.
For me,
Not
that was
short enough.
way too long for me. It was way too long. Or Frankenstein, because I just read Frankenstein a couple weeks
It
back.
took me a long time to get through Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Which
Frankenstein is
it's dense.
it's thicker than it. Yeah. Same with Heart of Darkness. Heart of Darkness is not a long book, That book took.
It's also, I think it's because it's written in the same format, where it's somebody telling you the story of how they got to the place where the story happened, and then
and anytime you're trying to unravel anything or the irony in it or whatever message you're trying to go, she's like, all right, so who's telling this to who at this point? And you're like, okay, so how many levels of sarcasm and irony am I going through?
Yeah.
And it's also a British guy, so there's an extra layer.
I was not a fan of Heart of Darkness.
I think it's great, and some of it is some of the lines are really great, and some of the ideas, like my favorite idea is like they're riding in the Thames, and he's like, Roman soldiers used to ride down this and thought this whole land was full of savages, and now look who we are. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, we're industrialists, and he's like, no, we're still fucking savages.
I got through Heart of Darkness, and it was a slog, not like Frankenstein. Frankenstein didn't feel like a slog. It was just like you had to read it more
It felt like a
carefully.
punch in the dick. Where like,
Whereas when I finished Heart of Darkness, my copy has a bunch of short stories by the same author. Mm-hmm. And the short story that immediately followed it was so much better than Heart of Darkness that I just got mad that I spent so much time reading that.
I just decided to watch Apocalypse Now.
No.
Yeah.
Well, my
Apocalypse
problem
Now is different
Yeah.
than Heart of Darkness.
I
know it's based on it, but it is fundamentally different. There's a few things.
My problem with Heart of Darkness is they made me read it junior year of high school.
What?
And the whole
You know
thing
what?
is,
You're
dude,
16, 17. You're really gonna understand the
I
nihilism.
Well, the whole thing is I had the
Man's a
reading
humanity
comprehension,
for
I had
man.
the vocabulary, I definitely could have written a paper on that. But when I reread it in college, I was like, I didn't get from what I got out of this reading. I got 40% more out of it just by a little bit more experience.
I think
And
you
I'm
have had to have a larger number of bad days.
bad day, but also I think you need to have a weirder, larger political experience where like you need to go register to vote and then have someone go like, "Oh, I'm registering as independent," and then go like, "What? Are you fucking insane?"
Then you vote, and then that person doesn't win.
Yeah, and
then you gotta have that life experience.
Yeah, then you there's a lot of weird like political backhand shaking
Never
stuff.
had that happen to me before. I'm sorry.
What?
You've always voted, and they've always won.
Yeah.
Max,
way to go,
I'm
Max.
gonna tell you who to vote for this time. Make sure they
I'll
win.
pay you money.
Totally voting for Kasich. No, I don't even know. Is he Democrat,
I'm
Republican? I
supporting
don't even know
O'Malley.
these guys. Really?
No,
You always do.
Fucking no.
You always do, no matter who the O'Malley is.
I say, is it because he's Irish?
You vote along the Irish line every time.
O apostrophe. That's why Obama got in.
One issue voter.
Obama.
no. The whole thing is that
Yeah, my surprise. Sorry, this
well, the thing is-
Obama ain't quite as Irish as I thought.
I said that as a joke, but my grandma, who again loves Kennedy despite the fact that he was a philanderer, she brought. She's like, "Oh, Malley seems like he's a really good sport," and I'm like, "You just picked the most Mick person on the roster thus far."
No, he's an O person. He's not a Mick.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it straight. Let's get these racial slurs. Let's keep them consistent.
The skit I always wanted to do was an old Irish blind guy who would talk about how Irish people are the best in sports because of Shaquille O'Neal, Tracy O'Grady,
Carl Malone.
Yeah, Carl. Yeah. Like, oh, the Irish are the best at sports, any sport.
That would be a really good sketch.
As for me, I brought in the rest of the second chapter of my book, of the Vomit Draft, and I changed the notes you guys gave me last week. I actually changed a lot of the stuff in the stuff that you've already read, but I didn't want to have to make you reread that to critique the next stuff that's coming. So I want to know your thoughts.
I told you before, I really enjoyed the child contemplating his own death thing of like, yeah, when this guy used to take me fishing, we'd fill a car with fishing stuff. So I'm probably not going to catch a fish. I've been hungry, but never been this hungry. Like,
that was really good.
I like this realization of knowing that he's never walked that long before.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like, I've never walked this much.
Which it does two things. One, it tells you that he's tired and definitely hungry, and another thing, it says Malcolm is stronger than he's ever been aware of.
Right.
And those are both very important things to happen.
One of my primary worries about this is I feel like because there's so much information I need to get through about how he thinks in this chapter before he goes off and is actually involved in a incident or meets people and has to talk to them, that I need to get you to understand how he thinks, what he's like, that I feel like I'm just listing stuff. And I'm worried that might get boring.
It didn't come across that way. It felt fine.
We haven't hit that moment yet. Establishing how he thinks is kind of the goal of this chapter. That's what you're getting through. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. If that was the rest of the book, yeah, that would suck.
Yeah,
I
I
would
mean,
not like
I
that.
don't want to do that for the rest.
We
I shouldn't have
also
to.
know he's under an extenuating circumstance.
Yeah,
so
he's
once
definitely in.
you know-
Yeah, he's all in his head. And just the only thing I'm gonna say about this is like I enjoyed it. I'm looking to see forward to the changes you make. It's just that how subtly, when we look into his head throughout the rest of the story, as he changes, as he gains more skills, how deftly you can do that is going to be the thing that makes or breaks that character. Or
Okay.
even more than his actions, I think his internal mechanisms are the things that draw me to him.
Yeah,
right now.
what his internal thought process throughout the book is going to be my constant point of reference for how I should be
Yeah.
viewing what's going on.
Okay.
So definitely,
He is the
it's-
lens through which
Yeah. Sure.
the world is viewed.
So don't feel like, oh, I'm giving too much or I'm listing too much because I need that shit.
Right.
So if you feel, it's always easier to trim it back than
you can even
for me
do,
to say
like-
I need more.
A drawn out montage, like what was that movie with Castaway,
Right.
where they did the montage where like he's
No,
trying to
I
get,
mean, he's alone.
he's trying to get a fish.
Yeah, I get you.
then he can't get a fish, then he's on a rock and he's wearing a
And he
headband.
immediately kills
and
a
he kills
fish
like
instantly.
8 fish. Yeah.
Where he makes a fire and he's like, I'm the god
Yeah.
of fire.
But like
Yeah.
where he can't get a fish. But later on you could be like where he just doesn't need all that worldly accoutrement of an entire truck full of fishing gear. He's just like
Yeah. There should be that moment. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the moment before they hid in the cave in the first time or as soon as he starts training with Kelvin, you need to have a sentence or a paragraph or an aside that mentions where he's sore, mentions where he's deficit.
Sure.
And then before he goes and does something, maybe even before he fights the aspects, where he's like, I have all this. Let me list you the things that I have. And they should be the weaknesses that he didn't have before, like, or the
Right.
things that were sore.
But
The things that are sore, the things that are now the strongest.
Well, you can do that too by like the first session that he has where it's like, all right, pick up the sword. Now cut through that watermelon. And he only gets like halfway through and then it gets stuck because he didn't have the strength to even cut through the whole thing. So then later when he's cutting through people's heads, it's like, oh, well, he's clearly, it's like he's
Yeah,
clearly
I mean
grown.
that's I got plans for that, like specifically about how he's training and what the things that are hard, and then later it'll talk about how it feels good doing this, and now he's finally hit this right.
I was just gonna say I liked it. I liked that you had him break his ankle instead of his arm because
Well, he didn't break his ankle.
Well, it was swollen 3 times the size or whatever. So
it
he's
sprained it.
Well, then either way, that's better than him hurting his arm because when he's trying to get away from them, it was more of like I could more easily picture him being like "fuck" and like that he can't make it.
I
So
think
it's-
I may still break his arm during the pursuit.
Okay.
like at the end of this chapter. But I don't know. What do you guys think about? Was it sufficiently scary when he gets dragged off?
like I said this last time, but I'm not really in fear for his life because it's only chapter 2.
Sure.
So like I don't know if
But
I'll,
also, we know stories, so maybe that's why we're not afraid.
and I read your outline, so I know that the people who are getting him are not malevolent. You
Right.
know,
You know what they look like. You know what
Yeah.
the culture is like.
Yeah,
But
the
title
thing
of
is-
the title of the book is Malcolm Hat.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, the scene where they were chasing him and he like couldn't get a good, view of them, and these are small creatures, but they're moving, and there's some kind of language because they're shouting and everything. I think it was sufficient. Like it did its
Okay.
job. It was creepy enough. I knew that he was scared, and I was seeing it from his perspective.
So you understand how scared he would be.
Exactly. Yeah, I understood how he was scared.
The only thing I might end up doing is I've recently been researching, and this is really weird. This is a really random thing I've also been looking to do is camps for like troubled teens, and the way that they abduct children with the permission of their parents.
Oh my goodness. Like the Pray the
Like
Gay
the
Away
Scared
camps.
Straight.
too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
heard about
and,
those where they send them to like Borneo.
So
or
anyway,
something.
there are first person accounts of those transactions. It's the best because there is no direct train of thought. It's just image, image, image. I'm on a plane.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I got there, and I can even tell you these images, but there's no train
connection.
there's no train of thought because you're not given enough time to think about anything.
I
Or
read some
information.
of those Reddit threads where people were like, "Hey, I think my parents might try to send me to one of these places."
And everyone is like,
"What
run.
do I do?" And they're like, if somebody comes and grabs you, bite their ears off, pull their eyeballs out of their sockets. If they get you to an airport, scream bomb. Like do it.
Yeah.
Because if the cops stop you and pull you away and you explain this, you're like, I'm an American citizen. Like you can't take me to a different country. Like you
Yeah.
can't do this. I relinquish. They're not going to be able to take you. They're just not going to.
The ones I've been reading have not been another country. It's been Utah.
Ooh, even worse.
No, Utah is super scary. because some of these programs have killed kids through starvation and water deprivation, and they are not regulated enough by state law to be shut down for that. It is considered an acceptable loss for survival training, even if it's for whatever.
Survival training.
Yeah.
It's like
It's super scary.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the idea of survival
Training.
This is spiritual survival training.
But as a 13-year-old, if you're a 13-year-old girl and you're like, I broke my arm, no one should say, suck it up.
Now, he's going to be imprisoned, and he doesn't know where he is or why he's there. I think you're right. I think I'll look into that to see what that feels like for people.
Image.
Yeah. Look for
Somewhere strange.
and how people who go through trauma deal with things, and even the idea where I think all of that will be beneficial, especially.
Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. You've piqued my interest.
Like watch that movie, but
also,
I'm a cheerleader.
It'll make you really sad.
Oh no, yeah, totally. Like I said, I read those Reddit threads, and people are just like,
Go big.
Injure them, take a knife, stab them, do anything you can, because you will not you need to, because they're trying to kidnap you. Like if you kill one, you will not be prosecuted. just do whatever you have to do. But why don't I appreciate the feedback. Thank you guys. I guess the primary feedback I'm getting is just keep going.
Yeah, no, keep going.
No, keep going.
Whatever you're worried about, don't. Just keep doing that.
Okay.
In fact, as soon as this chapter started and you made Malcolm someone I wanted to follow on this journey, I have almost no worries for the rest of the story.
Awesome. Okay. That's
because anything else to me is an easy fix of you change the plot, you change this other secondary person. If the vehicle in which you're traveling through this world is broken, that's a way harder fix, a way harder thing to think your way out of.
Chapter 1...
You got it. You got a good car. See where it goes.
Cool.
I can see how Chapter 1 was more difficult because there's a lot of information you had to get going before the story really kicks in.
Sense of normalcy.
Now that the story has kicked in, stuff that happened in Chapter 1 doesn't matter as much until it comes up again later. So when you run into those problems later, you can replant them in Chapter 1. So... It's only Chapter 2, but from this point forward, you are delivering all the information I need. That I as a reader, as I'm reading it, I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
Cool. That's my 100% my worry all the time.
And I like Malcolm. I like how he approaches problems, and I like how he doesn't immediately go to the worst thing. He's like, here are 3 bad things. Here's also the worst thing. Like, his mind definitely goes there, and you almost get the feeling like the reason why he thought of the other 3 ideas first is his mind wanted to do that, and he made that the last thing he thought of. And I like that, because he seems like a little skittish, a little worried, a little self-aware, but not to the point where he's completely a self-aware comedian type.
Okay. And then when he gets to that worst possible thing, it's like, all right, well, fuck that shit. I gotta move on.
He was like, can't think about that.
Yeah.
Keep going.
All right, so now it's time for the bad story trailers part of the podcast. So each week we roll the dice, find 3 genres, and then try to workshop a film idea. And then we turn off the mics, write the trailer, record the trailer, and deliver it to your waiting supple ears. So here we go.
3 times, right? We're gonna roll first.
Actually, let's do Liam. You roll first.
All right, let's do this. Big number. 43.
Oh, gas lamp fantasy.
Ooh, I like this already.
Read that aloud.
Fantasy's counterpart to steampunk, in which the settings are often Victorian or Edwardian society or technologically, but with non-scientific elements or characters included. Although it was originated by girl genius, modern Sherlock Holmes, Dracula and Jane Austen.
Oh, Dracula. Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Dracula and Jane Austen pastiches would often fit with the subgenre.
Pastiche.
Yeah.
Oh, pastiche. Yes, there you go.
College.
Interesting. Okay. I quit college halfway through, I guess.
I did too, and then I went back. It was fun.
All right, so what's the next dice?
I'm rolling next. 85.
God damn it, Josh. Always beating me.
It's winning.
It's a bigger number, and I like
Okay, 85. Diesel punk.
it. Yes.
Wait, gas. Those. Come on.
They don't work.
They're not
It's like-
compatible.
I'll roll again.
They're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
compatible. Yeah.
81.
Steampunk,
I think we've done
cyberpunk.
this one.
Space opera.
Yes, gas lamp space opera.
I don't know if that's gonna work. It says a story characterized by the extent of space travel and distinguished by the amount of time that the protagonists spend in an active spacefaring lifestyle. You can't have that with.
the trip to the moon. That is Victorian and space opera.
Yeah.
But it says, but for
You can have a Victorian. You can have
it
Victorian.
says non-scientific elements.
Right, but it says
doesn't matter.
gas lamp fantasy, right?
Doug.
Yeah.
Hey, Doug.
Okay, yeah,
Doug.
the fantastic
Doug.
elements are what? Okay,
Suck it.
Do you remember? Okay, the comic book Saga. They travel around in a tree that is a rocket ship.
It works.
All right.
23,
All right. 23.
We don't have to use it, but we need to.
We
move
can't.
on.
We've already rolled this one before. Gangster.
I'm.
So we gotta roll again.
Space gangsters.
76, Doug.
What is this?
Future noir.
Yeah.
How? They can't.
We got it.
Sherlock Holmes in space. Done.
Bitch.
Next.
No, read the description says hybrids of other works of fiction, including film noir, science fiction, or cyberpunk, concentrating more on science fiction themes.
Done. We
How
can
do you do
this.
that? Space
It's a
opera.
spaceship that runs on IBM punch cards.
Yeah.
No technology.
Victorian style.
Can't do it.
No,
Yeah,
it's
we
not- it's not
can.
no technology. Gas lamp is-
It's Victorian in style.
All right, so we
Which
have
is
to
just
we have to
steampunk.
invent a new power. Okay. Oh, what's the perfect example of this? That video game that came
Really,
out.
I was going to say 20,000 leagues under
no,
the sea.
the video game that came out recently.
Dishonored.
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 That's yeah.
Dishonored is that. In fact, almost exactly.
Yeah.
What if it just runs on
It's
British?
dark and it's.
It just runs on the British Empire.
All right, so we've got a space opera. Let's focus on space opera, and then we'll deal with technology second, right?
Well, the whole
So-
thing is Victorian would just be how we kind of word it. Yes.
right. So noir. What's the noir? I can never say that word.
Noir.
Yeah, without sounding like I'm trying to be a shitty French girl.
Yeah, that's what most people who speak French just sound to me.
I had to say. I would say, oh, this is a noir. Noir.
Noir.
Everyone has a noir. It's my favorite color, noir.
Pinot Noir. So it's a
So space opera. Well,
No, let's think noir, right? Like
Yeah.
let's think noir first, and then we'll.
When I think space opera and
Specifically,
Victorian,
future noir.
I want to make the movie Zulu, but in space.
I don't know Zulu. I haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
I've seen Zoolander.
Really?
I've seen
Doug?
Zulu. I've seen Zulu.
Okay.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Basically,
Yeah.
it's the British Empire fighting those dirty savages.
Right.
There's like 30 British soldiers
Like in The Meaning of
in a
Life.
fort with Michael Caine.
Except for real and serious.
Everyone. And then there's like 15,000 Zulus trying to break in, and they win just by the might and main of the British Empire. Yeah.
And then
Only they did.
and then when they do win, you go, these guys are assholes.
Oh, yeah, they're terrible
It's like you're killing these poor people. Like
In
ugh.
their country.
yeah.
And these superhuman
You went
warriors,
there.
they who run like 30 to 40 miles a day, being in the
To
army.
get there, yeah.
to get there. Like, the wrong people win.
What
Anyways.
is?
Basically, Zulu is how the James Cameron's Avatar should have ended.
Yeah.
Does noir have a mystery? Is that the fundamental component? Of
Not
noir?
necessarily.
No,
It's just dark.
Actually, yeah, it's usually just like tonally a crime novel. I mean, there's not.
The seedy underbelly. Of
Yeah,
things.
I mean, there is a mystery because there's something to be solved. It's like there's a guy going around punching people. I need to stop him from punching people.
But I don't know who he is.
Yeah. So I got to figure out who this guy is. Let me go to the place where he's punching people. Hey, bartender, describe to me the guy who is punching people.
So what's it to you, Mac?
If we're going basic noir, murder. Murder is the best. And we got it, femme fatale.
But space opera is like epic and huge.
Yes.
So planet hopping.
Planet hopping,
Yeah.
murder,
Space
femme
station.
fatale.
Space station, murder on a space
Even,
station.
yeah, murder on a space. In fact, it could be called murder on a space station.
Space station murder.
Clearly,
station, colon,
because you have
murder.
grown a beard, you're the murderer.
Yes.
Beards cannot grow in space.
Beards cannot grow in space.
Okay, so what if it's an investigator,
Constable.
constable? Let's think.
Because he's Victorian.
You remember the magistrate in the Conan comic where Conan breaks in the God in the Bowl?
Yeah. We've referenced this
Yeah.
particular story several times.
Yeah, Conan breaks into this treasure hoard, and he gets in there and walks in a room at the same time as a guard does, and then between them is a man who's been strangled to death.
And
the-
neither of them have done it.
right, neither of them had done it, but the guard's like, "You killed this man," and Conan's like, "I'm just here to steal things," because he doesn't give a shit. He
Yeah.
can kill this guy, no problem. He's like, "You killed him." He's like, "You fucking say that again, I'll kill you. You killed him." Like I just got here. I
yeah.
just got here. I'm here to steal shit. Yeah, and then the magistrate
Go back
came.
to Conan.
The magistrate comes in and he's like, "Whoa, what happened?" And this guard's like, "Yeah, dude, well, I'm gonna fucking run him through right now." And Conan's like, "You fucking try it." And the magistrate's like, whoa, everybody calm down.
Legit tries to cut through the shit.
Yeah, he's like, hold on, this guy was strangled. Like, did you have a sword?
You have a sword, so
yeah, he has his sword out. You know,
Yeah.
he's like, what? Why would you strangle a man? He's like, I didn't. This guy probably did it to hide the fact that he has a spear because he's a corrupt guard. And he's like, I didn't do it. And Magistrate's like, shut up, everybody, shut up. Like, just what if it's like this kind of guy where there's an empire of like magical spacefarers. Think like the Star Wars Empire, evil empire, and he's a magistrate who's not corrupt. And something happened.
So he's Gordon,
Commissioner Gordon?
Lieutenant Gordon.
Lieutenant Gordon.
Lieutenant Gordon.
Yes, Lord Vader.
Quiet.
Please don't kill me. I'm not corrupt.
Or
You're not corrupt. Where the hell were you going with this?
totally blanking on the guy's name now.
Describe him.
Now we've already done a noir murder mystery in space when
Yes.
we did A Dark Light Year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About bird people and lizard people.
Yeah.
So let's go
And
less
it was
silly.
the pig people the whole time.
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Wes Anderson?
But Grand Budapest, he
You're
was
gonna have to-
There's a
the
lot.
constable. He was the good guy in the army. He wasn't the good guy.
Edward Norton?
Yes.
Edward Norton,
Okay.
his character.
Yes.
he was like a good guy in a bad fucking situation.
Yeah.
he still had to do bad things just because of the organization.
Maybe. I'm trying to think.
Or would he be a good guy within his organization? Him doing bad things because
This is beside the point.
Well, I want
Let's
to
get back to plot.
So things have gone missing. This guy's looking into it. Leads to a big conspiracy. That's
Yes.
very noir, right?
Buffalo Soldier style? Okay, Buffalo Soldier is a movie about a guy who's in Germany after World War II and he just runs a smuggling ring.
I thought it was about Bob Marley.
It isn't.
Anyways, so it's.
I told you these genres don't mix. I
They
told you.
do. No,
we need a plot. We don't have a plot.
Yeah, we don't have. It's
but
not.
noir is taking up too much of the plot part.
No, because
No, the other
it's
stuff
not.
is just flavor.
Yeah, no, the other
Like
stuff is just flavor.
Noir implies a plot that we're trying.
So
That's what we're trying to.
the
figure
thing
out.
is, I want a femme fatale.
I can agree with Doug.
If we're going, if
Noir
we're
is
going,
boring to me.
no,
at this
if we're
point.
if we're going with noir, I want a femme fatale.
We've done noir like 4 times.
We haven't done one with a femme fatale.
You know what? I think Doug is right. We have done. 'cause
Noir
remember-
is
We
so
have done
boring.
it.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah. Our first episode.
Let's re-roll the
Was
noir.
noir.
Yes.
Yeah, so just the last
Doug,
one. Go ahead.
In fact, when are we ever going to do Curse Breaker? Because I want to do it.
Yeah.
that's for Patreon backers someday.
when we get a Patreon.
yeah.
When Chris O'Dowd answers our emails.
I've only seen
No, it's funny.
6.
No, because that was Dom Hall Gleason, wasn't it? In the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could just make that movie with Dom Hall
Wow,
Gleason.
we already did that one. Shit.
What's her number?
24.
The highest number.
You know, I really want to add.
I think this will be great. 24, Gentleman Thief.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
All right,
done.
okay.
All right.
All right, so something closer to.
Centers around a particularly well-behaved and apparently well-bred thief. They rarely bother with anonymity or force, preferring to rely on charisma, physical attractiveness, or clever misdirection to steal the most unobtainable objects. Sometimes for their own support, but mostly for the thrill of the act itself.
All right. So what's the MacGuffin?
The gas lamp setting.
So it's
Gentleman
almost
Thief
like-
in space.
It's almost like
Trip to the moon with Han Solo.
Firefly.
Yes.
Like Firefly, where Mal doesn't hide who he is or anything.
Yeah.
But
He's like, I'm a pirate.
but now it's less based on
But he's
sci-fi
very
and more like
gentleman-y.
I fly in a boat that has sails, light sails.
Solar sails,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
The British crown jewels are.
Is this so?
No,
like,
not for no. We need better. We need a weirder MacGuffin.
I think it needs to be more magical and less
Yeah.
like disguised
Oh,
technology.
well, when you say Victorian, I just that
yeah.
directly.
Yeah, you want
relates.
crown
But, this,
jewels.
but
I
now
want
remember,
something
that is
more clever.
fantasy. It's the gas lamp fantasy. So it is magic is
What-
allowed.
What if the movie is that it starts with him stealing the MacGuffin, and the rest of it is the bad guys trying to get it back? and
Yes.
he's trying to play multiple
Both
sides
sides.
against each other.
Yes.
Almost like that.
Snatch.
Almost sounds like El Barak, like
Snatch.
another Robert E. Howard reference. We'll go back to Robert E. Howard. Okay, so he steals. What does the bad guy have that upsets the balance of power? That he's like,
The
I'm gonna
thing
take
that
it.
the thing that makes him immortal.
Immortality. What if it's something that affects multiple people, not just one?
Okay.
I'm gonna say that, or if it's more of like
a power source.
something that people worship.
or
You know,
even just information, like damaging information, and he has it. He's not even going to use it.
but a gentleman thief doesn't deal in information as much as like just the object to add to his personal
Okay.
collection, sort of thing. You
All
know?
right.
He doesn't even want it for him.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he stole it
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what does it.
Which is what modern day hackers kind of really are most of the well, the ones that get interviewed. The actual corporate ones aren't.
Yeah.
Do you remember that Onion article video about Le Jaguar, the gentleman thief who is the world fencing champion, once again has to deny that he is Le Jaguar, and like they quote him in the thing. It's like, Le Jaguar, me, absurd. Perhaps if those incompetent police officers could see the error of their ways. Basically, like just insulting the cops all the time, and it's clearly he is Le Jaguar. There's no way this guy's not him. And they even show a file photo of Le Jaguar, and it's him with just a little black bandit mask over his eyes. And it's just, they put it up next to his official photo. It's the exact same photo. So I picture that's the gentleman thief sort of equivalent.
Oh,
you know,
The Jaguar.
Like, the guy who
Le
has
Jaguar.
It's
But the whole thing is he has to be Victorian. So what would be the Victorian?
Carrie Elwes
Okay.
All right.
So Carrie Elwes is
in space.
right. What does he steal?
I think he would steal something.
We've got an evil empire. Okay.
The Pearl of Mars.
Because if it's a space opera, you need an overarching.
The
evil.
Andromeda Jewel.
You say the Pearl of Mars, and I think the joke is that he gets there to steal the Pearl of Mars, but it's just it's the Emperor's wife, and he steals her.
Very well.
And he totally would. That's the thing.
would be funny. We're just like,
That's very-
let's do this.
It's almost like
Because then you just say gentleman thief, whatever the guy's name is, and the Pearl of Mars.
And the whole thing is the best part is
we're stealing from something.
and she'd be go like, well, fine, I'll head out. It'll be
Yeah.
fine. Like I'll be fine.
She's like, I want to leave here forever. Like,
Yeah, let's
please
go.
take me.
He
What
just
movie
takes
is
her-
like that? There's movies like that. I'm trying to think of or movies or
Rapunzel?
books. No, where a thief shows up to take something, but it's a person, and he's like, and they're like, we need to get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm going with you.
he's like, okay,
Well, I guess that did happen in
Rapunzel.
Well, Entangled specifically.
yes, which was surprisingly good.
Of course, yeah.
Well,
it
'cause
was
they
better than
rewrote it.
Frozen. Yeah.
They rewrote it. It was supposed to be the prince saves her and everything like that, and then girls are like, "That's bullshit." So they're like, "Whoa, what if we do this?" And the girls are
What
like,
if Han Solo shows
Yeah.
up and she's like in charge?
What if he fights a horse with a pan and goes, "This is the weirdest thing I've ever done."
and little kids were like,
That was
Sold.
that was a great moment. That's my favorite moment of the whole film.
"All right, so we have
It's a
Carrie
good
Elwes in
joke.
space. I like the Pearl to Mars. So what's his name?
Carrie Elwes, fuck it,
No.
I think we
He
could
can't
call
be
it the
British
Pearl.
because our
Victorian,
British
dude.
is not great.
The problem with Victorian fiction now is Mitchell and Webb has ruined it for me because now I just think of Queen Victoria going,
Yes,
do you smell cum?"
It's not Victorian.
the crazy thing about Victoria, she was wider than she was tall when she died.
You
She
just
was-
made that
No,
up.
she was almost like 6 feet wide.
What?
You talk
Yeah,
about
like
are
5
you
feet
just
wide.
talking about this, the way she's depicted in a dress?
No, Queen
the dress at the
Victoria.
time?
Like no, when she died, she was actually wider than she was tall.
But who was she? Pizza the Hut? Like,
Look that shit up.
I like how you went not Jabba the Hutt, but
no.
Pizza the Hut. It's like, and he ate himself to death.
This will not be a retraction.
Retraction: Victoria was not 6 feet wide and
Yes.
5 feet tall.
No, she probably wasn't 6 feet
I
wide.
can't believe.
Here,
No,
Queen.
I need a source on that information.
Yeah.
she effectively
Victoria.
turned into a hockey puck.
All right. So anyway, guy's name,
They rolled her into her grave, literally.
Edmund.
No,
Sir.
I like Le Jaguar as a
Yeah,
reference.
the-
Yeah.
So
The space jaguar.
The Cutpus.
the Dirge.
The
Dirge.
Dirge. Hi, I'm the
Sir Dirge.
But the whole thing is the Dirge is like sadder.
No, you're thinking of it as the song. Dirge
Okay.
is also a kind of dagger.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No. Yeah. The Dirge. That works.
Dirge is a
rap-
good first
rap
name for a scoundrel space gentleman with a pistol, kind of. Dirge something.
Dirge York.
Sir Dirge.
No, because he has to be an esquire, and you can't be an esquire and a sir.
Well, he's studying to become a lawyer or a barrister. I exclusively defend myself. They let me put on the wig.
Sweet deal.
I like Dirge though. Dirge is good. Where we go from there?
Okay, so what is he stealing? Okay, it can't be Mars because it's way too much like the Pearl of
Yeah,
Mars. It's
yeah,
way
that's
too much
what
like
it's-
Princess
yeah.
of Mars.
All right.
Neptune?
Andromeda.
Titan.
Titan. The Pearl of Titan.
That's not.
Is
bad.
it? But does it even have to be in our solar system? I mean, space opera, we can go any fucking where.
Yeah,
you know?
but I mean, the more familiar, the better. Like Titan could like what were you like?
It
The
should be
pearl
na-
of a
it-
thing we made up. Like Titan is real and tangible. It helps.
But no one would necessarily, by hearing the title, it's just like a literal Titan or the planet or
Yeah,
the planetoid.
That's good.
You
I
know?
like that.
the moon Titan.
I'm a
you know?
fan.
The Pearl of Titan?
The Pearl of Titan.
Is that okay? So he has to steal the Pearl of Titan. Turns out it's a woman, and it's like the dirge is at it again.
Yeah.
He broke in. He broke into the lustrous castle,
And she's like, we can go.
yeah.
We
He's
can-
just like,
I
get
want
me
her.
out of here.
No, I want her to even like be really like weirdly matter of fact. Was like, no, this is fine. Not even super excited. We're like, no, this fine.
Like, are you another suitor? No. Where
could be.
Where's the pearl?
She's like, I'm the pro.
yeah.
I bet you are.
Yeah, and then
This is
they,
one
and
clan
then,
that'll be
yeah.
tough to crack.
And then they have to chase him down, and they fall in love.
Yeah. And then he leaves her on a plan at the end. She's
Yeah.
like, dirge.
Yeah.
You're free. You're free, darling. Goodbye.
I'm off to steal again.
The joke is that when he kidnaps her, if she's an alien, if she's like blue lady or green lady alien in her culture, that's how you marry somebody. So the joke is that
That's
he's
way
that tied.
too much like
That's way-
too much
yeah.
like Princess of Mars.
Is it?
Well, remember because he's like, you are my princess, and I will protect you. And she's
no,
like,
yeah.
and then she goes red because like that means they're married.
Well, I mean, the fact that he kidnaps her, like that alone is considered whatever. But whatever.
That's used so much.
It is, yeah. But it's
It's used in Game of Thrones.
the
Yeah.
gentlemanly.
Song of Ice and Fire.
But for the gentlemanly character to have to deal with an overly attached person that he was looking for money. What he got was a person,
Right.
but it's still fun, you know.
No, he's looking for a thrill.
True.
She's always wanted a thrill. He's always wanted lots of money. So she's like, oh well, like what if she's like talking it up? Like she's like, I bet I'm worth tons of money. I bet we could get a lot out of them before you ever have to hand me over, you know. And she's like, let's go out in the galaxy.
But then again, once he takes this person, the thrill of stealing her, you know, it's kind of done. You know, like he's gotten away with her. It's not like he can add her to the collection on his ship.
Then that's how they develop. That's where the
Well, 'cause-
that's where
well,
this
think about-
accidentally became a rom-com.
Okay, so what's the Hitchcock movie? To Catch a Thief.
Yeah, to catch the thief.
That character's definitely gentleman thief.
Well,
Doesn't steal-
He was.
Doesn't steal anything the entire film.
Yeah.
So I think
Stole my heart.
Oh,
and Grace
High
Kelly's.
five.
Yeah. Grace Kelly stole a lot of stole more from me than just my heart.
What'd you steal? Your admission?
I don't know.
I just don't know. I felt something happen in here.
I felt like I lost something important. I'll never get it back. Okay, so
I like how Max has been oddly quiet because he's wrong.
Because he can't find the facts. He's like, well, I got
he's
some
been on his
source
phone. He's been on
somewhere.
his phone this whole time, looking up a fact that apparently he had wrong.
Well, no, I was
not
looking
right.
up on Wikipedia, but I can find it. I just was looking for
Rule of the internet in 2016: if you can't find it in 30 seconds, you're
It's
wrong.
not true.
I was actually just interested in all the Wikipedia facts.
I'm glad you were participating.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
so-
she was the last monarch of the House of Hanover.
Yes.
Fascinating.
No, I actually did know that. That's not that impressive.
all right. So is that our movie, guys?
Yes.
The Pearl of Titan.
All right.
Pearl of Titan.
Is it Dirge and the Pearl of Titan, or
Dir-
just the Pearl of Titan?
I think if it was a book, it would be like James Bond and then the
Yes.
Pearl of Titan, right?
So
it'd be
this is
the
Dirge Sherlock.
Jim
or Dirge. Dirge.
John Dirge.
Dirge Hamlock and the Pearl of Titan.
Skip Dirge.
What's the what's the most English last name you can come up with?
Bestfordshire.
Bestford. Dirge Bestford and the Pearl of Titan.
I think
I think Pearl of Titan's cool enough.
the Pearl of Titan.
Yeah.
But I want more.
I'm thinking-
I want more Dirge novels
James
later.
Bond is not a very British
Yeah, the first
name.
one's Doctor No. There's no James Bond in any movie title. And in fact, it's not even the title of the books. It's like Live and Let Die, a James Bond novel. It's not.
Yeah.
It's never James Bond.
So it'd be
and
the Pearl
Live
of
and Let
Titan.
Die. Yeah, Pearl of Titan.
In the famous Dirge series.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Pearl of Titan.
Theft
Yeah.
of the Pearl of Mars or Pearl of Titan or whatever.
part of the Chronicles of the Dirge.
Yeah. The Dirge Chronicles.
The Dirge Chronicles.
All right,
Dirge Diggler.
we've got it.
No, fuck you.
Dirge.
All right,
Dirgy
although
deeds.
again on record, on record, Max has found no proof.
That she was as wide as she is tall.
That's what I got.
She's barely 5 feet tall.
Uh,
Yeah, we knew she
Get
was
it.
short. Not that she
50
was 6 feet wide.
no, it wasn't 6 feet. She had a 50-inch waist.
That is
Not even close.
yeah.
Well, she wasn't 5 feet tall. She had a 50-inch waist. So I heard it on NPR. I guess they were the Sotheby's lady. They were selling her underpants,
Oh.
and they said she was as wide.
Do tell.
But apparently, to this, she was not.
All right.
Yeah, that makes total sense because then you would have to be incredibly wide.
Oh yeah, she was incredible.
No, I mean to like.
I just imagine her mouth as being like Jabba the Hutt's. Like if she's that wide, it like reaches from shoulder to shoulder.
No, there's
And
no way.
It opens like a frog's
Alright,
mouth.
I do want to check this up. I heard recently that your neck is exactly half the area of your waist.
What? No, because your neck gets bigger if you work it out, and your waist will stay the same width.
Liam, I actually heard if your face is as big as your hand, you have cancer. Yeah.
Oh God!
So let's test that out real quick.
I heard if your foot is as big as your Johnson, ladies can tell without having to ask.
Wow.
I heard that we need to record this fucking trailer.
Yeah, we do.
This just in, that rascal career thief, the Dirge, has broken into the most secure vault in the solar system. Yes, that very same private hoard of the dastardly Count of Titan, Phobon. Information is still sparse on what was stolen, but if this reporter was a betting man, he'd wager that the bounty was the much-rumored Pearl of Titan.
Who are you?
Surely you've heard of the scoundrel of Rigel, the sword of Canis Major.
The sword of...
The inimitable Dirge! Ha ha! Now, where's the jewel?
What jewel?
The Pearl of Titan. I'm here to relieve it of its confines.
That's me! I'm Pearl.
Oh no, I'm terribly sorry, miss. There seems to be some miscommunication.
No. You gotta take me with you. Get me out of here.
I'm afraid I don't do hostages.
No, I'm useful. I promise.
Word is that Count Phobon is none too happy with the response from the IGP.
Trust in us, Count. We'll find the bastard.
See that you do. The deepest pity is reserved for those that disappoint me.
I can't stand that prick.
Breaking news! The IGP has the Dirge in hot pursuit, and initial reports are saying that the government of Titan has given a verdict of no confidence. Their navy has arrived in full force.
Get out of the way.
I can fly my own ship, damn it.
Not as well as you shoot. Get on the guns. We aren't moving fast enough.
We'd move faster if we had less mass. Did you have to have such a big lunch?
Damn you, Dirge. If we survive, I'm gonna kill you.
Then I'll be certain to die gloriously, if just to deny you the pleasure.
Thank you all for joining us for this episode of Bad Storytellers. I'd like to thank my writing group, Doug Banks, Liam Malone, Max Wessel. All of our writing that we discussed this week can be found on our website, badstorytellers.com, along with the show notes. And for any questions, suggestions, or cynical critiques of our work, please contact us at badstorytellers@gmail.com. Also, if you dig the show, please leave us a rating on iTunes. It helps us gain visibility among the other writing podcasts. Again, I've been Joshua LaForge, and I'd like to invite you to join us next week on Bad Storytellers.